Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Frog on YouTube video. My name is Pollux the Wise, and in today's episode, we are going to be talking about something a little bit different from what we normally do. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode, I would like to briefly give you guys a quick live update as far as the Kingdom Rush Subscriber Battles Tournament is concerned. Now, I don't know if you guys check the community tab on my YouTube channel. If you don't, you probably should, but if you don't, that's okay, because I'm just going to tell you what's going on right now anyways. Basically, we've had to postpone the original start date that was planned for March 1st for the Kingdom Rush Subscriber Battles Tournament due to some technical issues on my end where I've been having issues live streaming on YouTube. There's been points where it's either just lagged or just cut off completely. And that's kind of frustrating for me. And also wouldn't be very fair to the participants of the tournament if all of a sudden just halfway through their attempts, the stream just cut off, which would be no bueno. So we're not going to be starting on March 1st. We're going to be starting tentatively on March 15th. And practice is going to be going on for not one, not two, but 3 different teams with gamers representing countries from across the globe. Hopefully it'll be a fun and interesting experience, and may the best rushers win. With that all out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into today's episode where we are going to be talking about something a little bit interesting. 5 of the most impressive Kingdom Rush videos ever created. Now, I'm not going to lie when I tell you guys that a lot of these are Barracks themed, but that's just because of the fact that, well, let's face it, there's a lot of anti-Barrack enemies in each of these Kingdom Rush games. So let's just go ahead and get started. Number 5 comes from Chateau 1923, who did Barracks only on Darklight depths. Now, when you see an image like this, I mean, yeah, he's using Boneheart, who we know is just overpowered as heck. But let's face it, guys, this level is not easy. You've got Death Coils, you've got Brutes, you've got Myrmidons, you've got Blaze Fangs. This level is chock full of enemies that just scream anti-Barracks and are capable of dealing high amounts of damage, healing themselves, true damaging attacks, and ranged attacks that literally cover almost all the freaking map. It's absolutely insane. That's nothing to say of the boss, who's got medium armor, a decent amount of health, and has a ground slamming attack that the closer you are to Xizzy, the more damage it deals. So the fact that this man was able to pull this off at all is just incredibly impressive. Now, why is he the lowest on this list? Well, unfortunately, he was playing on casual, but granted the difficulty of the challenge, I do have to kind of cut him some slack there. But the other thing is that he did end up losing quite a few lives. Now, I've tried this challenge myself on Veteran, and with Bruxa instead of Boneheart, and I was actually able to get decently far. Do I think it's possible to do it with Veteran, no lives lost, with an underpowered hero? I don't know. But as of right now, I do believe that you can get pretty far considering just the heroes and the tower placements and the micro. It's all there. But the point being, the reason that this is at the bottom of the list is because of the fact that despite the seeming difficulty of the challenge, a surprising amount of it is actually relatively doable. Moving on, we've got number 4, Bladesinger Lover, Templars only on Dusk Chateau. Now, it's already there in his name. This guy loves Bladesingers, but in this video, he doesn't end up using them because we are back to Kingdom Rush Frontiers once again, with Templars only on Dusk Chateau. I don't think it's any secret that this level is insanely difficult, even just with vanilla gameplay. But to do a challenge such as this, where you literally go up against even more units that are anti-Barracks than before, is just absolutely impressive. And the fact that he was able to beat Vasile in not only his first phase, but his second phase, where he gets an even more powerful death aura than the Phantom Warriors can, and just absolutely shred through any Barracks units or heroes standing in his way, gotta give props to my man. He's just incredibly impressive for doing this. And while I may not like Bladesingers, and I know him and I disagree on that versus the Forest Keepers debate, I gotta respect this guy. He is an insanely talented player. It just goes to show you how much he loves Barracks. The fact that he was able to do this challenge, he didn't give up, and he was able to get through most of the level with no lives lost. It was only on wave 15 when Lycan started transforming some of his Templars into werewolves, and they started leaking through, that he really started running into some issues. But the fact that he was able to recover, still defeat the boss, and end this challenge just goes to show you guys how impressive of a feat is that. Absolutely insane. Let's move on to number 3, Cozynez with Barracks only on Magnicia shores. Now, if you thought the demon levels were hard because of the fact that they explode when they die, dealing area damage, or the abominations, explode, dealing area damage, how about the basic enemy of an army capable of jumping onto your units from afar, dealing area damage on impact as they land, and possessing medium armor? And then the secondary frontline units, the Wardens, capable of being shielded by the Infusers, with high armor and a high amount of health. I think you get the point, guys. This army has a lot of synergy. When units get stacked and they're all just coming at you at once in waves where the enemy variety is varied, their synergy is quite good. And that's what makes this level such a pain in the ass, is the fact that, well, let's be honest, Anurian units are OP, please nerf XD. But besides that, in all seriousness, the fact that this man was able to beat this level with only Barracks, and he was using Orc Warriors Dens and Dark Knights too. It's not like he was just spamming Elite Harassers, as you can see here, and just using Aerostorm to just absolutely demolish these units. No. He had to deal with flying enemies on top of the ground units, and the shielding, and just all kinds of just nasty, nasty enemies. But he was still able to beat this level, which is just absolutely insane. I don't know how he did it. I really seriously don't know how he did it. He has the sheer freaking stubborn will of a beast. He's a beast. He's a Giga Chad for doing this level with Barracks only. I don't know how he managed to do it, but he's a legend for doing it in my eyes. Number 2, King Rexy speedrun attempt on Kingdom Rush Origins. Now, recently, King Rexy and I had done a speedrun race to see who could speedrun Kingdom Rush Origins faster. Well, Rexy showed his skill because not only did he end up winning the race, but he ended up beating his world record that he previously set with a time of 3 hours and 9 minutes by 7 whole minutes. He got somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 hours and 2 minutes, which is just absolutely insane. Now, 7 minutes in the grand scheme of, when you're talking hours, doesn't seem like a lot. But the fact that he was able to shave off that much time, that's pretty impressive. Had he failed at any point during the speedrun and had to redo some of the levels, it would have been a major, major setback. And I would just like to add that I did, not once, but twice, fail on certain levels and have to reset as a result of my failures. So had Rexy also done that, I think it would have been a closer race, but he might have still ended up ultimately winning just because of the fact that he was further ahead a whole boss fight during the second act of the campaign. But props to Rexy for being able to do this, and props to him for not only being able to win the race, but also being able to shave off time in the grand scheme of things. Well done, sir. Very impressive. And honestly, guys, at this point, I would just like to add, as a quick side note, if you haven't watched these videos, you don't have to watch the full thing, but seriously, please go check them out. Like, the thing that Bladesinger Lover did and the Darklight Depths video, that's just insane. It's criminally underrated. I am surprised they don't have 500,000 views, if not 1 million. And they should. But in any case, moving on. Number 1, War Champion with Barracks only on Pandaemonium. Now, I've said it before, and I will say it again. As of this moment, until I encounter somebody who's better, I believe War Champion is the number 1 Kingdom Rush gamer currently alive that I know of. And it's because of this challenge. Look at this screen. Demon Legions replicating everywhere. They almost leaked through by the end. If you fast forwarded like several more seconds, you would have seen the Demon Legions almost reach the exit there on the bottom. But at the very last second, War Champion was able to rain of fire Moloch and pull out the W, not leaking a single life. And on Veteran, on one of the hardest post-campaign difficulties just ever. Which is just absolutely insane. Because of this, he has certified himself as a Kingdom Rush legend in my eyes. And if you guys haven't seen this video, you should. You definitely should. Shout out to all these amazing Kingdom Rush content creators, guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are all capable of so much. Keep pushing yourselves. Keep pushing the limits of these games. Keep making awesome, amazing Kingdom Rush content. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it, and I'm just absolutely impressed being able to see you guys do these amazing challenges. Really love it, really appreciate it, and I hope you guys keep it up. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's episode. This is Pollux the Wise. Peace out.